to refrain from posting things like that? Because that can...
I'm sorry, no. Sir, no. Whoever this officer is, that's not acceptable. You don't get to show up at the door of an American citizen and tell her that she should refrain from posting things like the First Amendment protected speech that she posted. We're going to talk about actually a story that is not a laughing matter out of Miami Beach, just about 10 minutes away from me, because it's like, have we not learned from the United Kingdom and all that dystopian shit where they're sending the police after people over social media posts that we don't do that here? Well, apparently in Miami Beach, they do things differently. They want to be a little dystopian. They said, oh, United Kingdom, that looks cute. Let's copy that. Let's copy and paste that, at the behest of a mayor who doesn't like people criticizing him on Facebook, apparently. So reading here from the Miami Herald, Miami Beach resident posted online about the mayor. Police showed up at her door. A Miami Beach resident said police showed up at her home Monday to confront her about a comment she made on social media regarding Mayor Stephen Minor. Rachel Pacheco, a former candidate for Miami Beach City Commission and a Florida Senate, recorded a video of her interaction with two officers who knocked on her door in the Flamingo Park neighborhood. The officers asked Pacheco whether she was the author of a comment that claimed, in part, that Minor, quote, consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians, end quote. The comment was a response to a January 6th Facebook post from Minor, who wrote that Miami Beach is a safe haven for everyone. Pacheco told the Herald she believes the police visit was an intimidation tactic and a direct attack on my First Amendment rights. This is mind-blowing to me that this is happening, she said. I don't understand what about the comment incites violence. Pacheco, 51, said her heart was racing when police arrived. The officers were in an unmarked vehicle, she said, and were not in full uniform. She told the Herald she has engaged a lawyer and she will take action if this escalates. Now, the reason this is going super viral is that we actually have the video that she took with these officers coming to her door over a social media post that you could argue is unfair or rude or inaccurate, but is certainly not a threat, is not inciting violence, is not anything other than harsh political criticism of an elected official on social media, aka free speech, people. Now, you could argue that the mayor has never said he wants all Palestinians to be killed. That is her subjective characterization of his support for Israel. Is it fair? Could you disagree with it? Absolutely, have field day. Can you send the cops to people's homes because you don't like what they write about you on Facebook? No, not in a free society with a First Amendment, babe. So there's some serious criticisms and accountability that need to happen in Miami Beach after this. First, though, we're just going to watch this video because it's really quite something of the police showing up at this woman's door because she dared criticize her mayor on Facebook in our supposedly free country that's not at all getting dystopian. Let's watch.
Make sure to make sure it's you. We're not sure.
Okay.
Is that your account?
I refuse to answer questions without my lawyer present, so I really don't know how to answer that question either
well,
way.
like I said, you're not going to
This is freedom of speech. This is America, right?
And
veteran.
And I agree with you 100%.
Okay. All right.
I'll just pause and say that that's the correct thing to do, is if the police show up at your door asking you questions about your social media posts, ask them if you're under arrest or being detained. If the answer is no, say that I'm not answering questions about this with a lawyer. Please leave my property. There's absolutely no reason to answer questions from the police about a Facebook post at your door. And of course, I would never, ever, ever, ever recommend resisting arrest or obstructing justice, but you are well within your rights to not answer questions from the police with a lawyer, without a lawyer present. That's exactly what you should do if they end up knocking on your door over a Facebook post that's political speech, which is just insane and unacceptable in a free society. And we're going to talk a little more about the accountability that needs to happen here. But first, let's roll the rest of this.
We're just trying to see if it's you, because if we're not talking to the right person, we want to go see who the right person is.
Okay, how can I help you?
So pretty much it's just a statement that was made as far as,
verbatim, it says the guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way. Even leaves the room when they vote and on related matters. Wants you to know that you're all welcome. Clown face, clown face, clown face. 3 days ago.
So you don't know if it was you?
I'm not going to answer whether that's me or not.
Okay.
The concerning part, and not concerning for the person who's posting it, what we're just trying to prevent is somebody else getting agitated or agreeing with the statement. We're not saying it's true or not.
Understood.
That guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians, that can probably incite somebody to do something radical. That's all we're here to talk about. And we wanted to get your side. If it was you that posted that, I would think to refrain from posting things like that, because that can.
I'm sorry, no. Sir, no. Whoever this officer is, that's not acceptable. You don't get to show up at the door of an American citizen and tell her that she should refrain from posting things like the First Amendment protected speech that she posted. You do not get to do that. That is not a proper role of law enforcement. How about you go solve some crimes, right? How about you go investigate some burglaries or do some real police work rather than policing random liberal women who post on Facebook criticizing the mayor. The fact that she said he supports the death of all Palestinians is just heated political speech. It is not even close to the definition of incitement under law. She did not call for any violence in any way. The fact that somebody might see a post and do something crazy because of it isn't legally relevant, doesn't make it a criminal act, and doesn't justify sending the police to someone's door. The New York Times could issue a report exposing something about a politician, and it could prompt some crazy person to try to hurt that politician. Doesn't mean they did anything wrong, doesn't mean that they broke a law or that their speech is somehow suspect or that the police should knock on their door. That is not how this works, sir. And if you don't know that, then the police officers in Miami Beach need a re-education session on basic civil rights they are obligated to respect, because they do swear to uphold our Constitution and our laws, and they're not doing so in this clip. We'll watch the last bit here.
Like that, because that could get something.
I appreciate your concern. I appreciate you coming out here.
Okay.
That's it?
That is it.
Okay.
I'm going to maintain my amendment rights to not answer the question about whether or not that's
okay.
me. I hope
Thank
that's
you for your time.
understandable.
We appreciate it.
Thank you
Have
as
a good
well.
day, okay?
You as well. Thank you. Take care.
So this video, pretty unsurprisingly, went very viral on social media and prompted a statement from the Nonpartisan Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, America's premier free speech organization, which, full disclosure, I do a little bit of paid consulting work for, freelance, but let me read you their tweets. This video is making the rounds, and it's one every American should see. Law enforcement showing up on Americans' doorsteps for lawful political speech that doesn't even remotely rise to the level of incitement, is absolutely intolerable in a free society. On Friday, we said as much to the Miami Beach Police Department, which had dispatched officers to the doorstep of a resident who criticized the mayor on Facebook. The First Amendment means we have the right to criticize those in power, even in scathing terms. So, I agree with Fire's statement here wholeheartedly, but I'm actually going to take it one step further. And I will say this. We need a full investigation into how this happened so it doesn't happen again. Who at the Miami Beach Police Department made the decision to dispatch officers to this woman's home? Because, listen, the officers who actually did it should have realized something was wrong and perhaps been like pushed back to their supervisors, but ultimately they were given an order and just followed it. Who made that decision? Did the mayor ask them to do that or instruct them to do that? That's something that needs to come out through Freedom of Information Act requests or reporting or some kind of leaks. Obviously, if anybody wants to leak me that information, please do legally, of course. But that's not acceptable. And whoever thinks that's okay, whether it's the head of the Miami Beach Police Department, whether it's the mayor, needs to face serious accountability and I think resign. Because if you cannot respect your citizens and constituents' basic free speech rights, then in my personal opinion, you have absolutely no place in any position of political power. That's my take. And y'all will have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button while you are at it.